Welcome to Phasma Jones 5-minute reviews. The Real Good Guys. The Real Good Guys is the Skeleton Crew finale. Unfortunately, like the previous episode and unlike previous finales that have recently been a hit, this one struggles. And it does struggle. Left off with the cliffhanger, which I explained in the previous review. John lies to everyone and asks the robots to keep an eye on the children to stop them interfering with his plans, and asks Fern, who is joined voluntarily by her mum, Vera, to stay the supervisor, who is a robot himself. It's a bit similar to Empire Death, but with Ruby Sunday's mum not being as special as people realise. I'm going to be honest here, I felt Ruby's mum, surprise, was a better plot point, which is a rare win from us in these days. I'm usually a critic on the guy, but when he hits, he hits. Minutes later, the supervisor is easily defeated. I feel the writers were more focused on the pirate version, which I get, but to get rid of a mysterious plot point. This is elevating Russell's story here, and it's not the only one. Oh, no, sorry, my friends. My other main criticism is that everything came too fast, especially with the pirate version. Not my cup of tea for finale, but I have seen other shows do a little better here. It showed the threats of the pirates who were the goal of our end. It wasn't good enough, unfortunately. If you're looking at even some of the Jodie Whittaker finales, I know Thomas Children isn't up to par with this, but it did try a risk. The last bit of criticism before I go into the positives, the pirates kept ruining everything good early because that was the show's biggest problem. It is a recurring problem with this show, and it's why it didn't work as well for me. Plot 2 once again has the correct reply. This episode scene isn't my favourite, but Russell's last of the Time Lords I felt did the job better. You only did once and that's it. Bam. You just need to do it once. David turned praise for once. He did good, including the scene at the end, which is more understandable, and you know where I am with his crying. The kids stepped up, and I'm proud of them for getting their revenge after what happened in the previous episode. As Fern said to her mum, they met some good people that inspired the kids. Neil was fighting back after being knocked down from his bike by those naughty pirates. He tries to shoot away the pirates to help out KB, using that similar weapon Hayden Strix had shown on at Akron. He escapes unharmed as well, which is good. He may act like a pacifist, but fights back when it counts. Edson 50 and KB, alongside Jimmy, free-eyed himself, Snowball, are fired, and are able to get help from Kim after what happened in Kim's observatory, and survive a crash back down to Iron that could have ended disastrously. Those legends. Team Wendell! Wim and his dad become a legendary team, and Wendell finally stands up as he helps fight Job, but it's Wim and Fern who are victorious as they finally stand up to Job by shining his lightsaber back. They end up doing it the proper way of the Jedi. Juno's Jod is the strongest of the villains in this show, and the fact that he wasn't always a survivor, but like Balin's Skull, who'll be back hopefully soon, went on the dark path, but unlike Balin went to privacy, he was a threat. I thought he was very enjoyable as a villain. He has the same problem I have with the pirates. Too many times for the hero sense. I thought he was very enjoyable as a villain. The ending when he's overpowered is really interesting, and at the end when he decides not to go with us to search for KB, and then he turns to the window. Is he going to turn good, or is he going to have another scheme trying to make money? The X-Men's coming to save Attain, and destroying the pirate ship is a beautiful moment, and I love the fact that it fits that narrative to Star Wars so beautifully. The ending is open, not many conclusions. How are we fixed? What happens to the pirates? I would have wanted more. Class did something like this, and that show was cancelled. Just this for Class. This was an okay finale, but unfortunately I feel the series could have been a bit better. I feel even though it won't return, I feel it deserves a second series, as I think these kids are too good not to return, and I want to see them return. That's it for this 5-minute review. Please like this review and subscribe to the podcast channel to keep up to date with all the latest content. Thank you for listening to Phasma Jones, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Subscribe to Phasma Jones and stay tuned for more podcasts. See ya!